Friday you had kind of a Sunday scrimmage situation with refs and all like you have done last Saturday. How did it look? How did they play?
Well, it's kind of a half scrim. I mean, we still had a lot of stuff practice-wise. I mean, a lot of interaction. I mean, it wasn't just, 2
Scrimmaging,
hours of
right?
scrimmage.
Right.
And so I thought we got a lot done. We got a lot of we got fundamental time in. We got some skelly in, 7-on-7, some one-on-one pass rush. And then we scrimmaged at the end. I mean, it's always good in bag wags. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but I was encouraged. I think we're improving overall as a team. You know, so yeah, it's the middle of spring ball. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody right now you talk to right now, everybody's ready, for the national championship. I mean, but I'm encouraged.
The culture that you talk about developing, are you seeing that take hold, especially with some of the younger guys who were on the scout team last year, maybe didn't quite understand what it takes to be up at this level?
Getting better,
Mm-hmm.
getting better. Where guys are recognizing the effort level that we need to play with. We gotta run to the football, gotta take care of the ball, keep the tip up. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm seeing that you feel better about, but obviously we're not at the point that we want to be. But I've seen us incrementally improve as the spring has gone on.
There's certain positions where you had holes, guys that graduated, and there's young guys you don't know what they can do. Are you starting to feel better about a few positions, like maybe some of these linebacker spots that had to fill in, and offensive line? You had lost all of your interior line, and I know the projected center's not up, but you know what I'm saying. Are you seeing guys step up? I guess.
Well, like inside linebacker Hudson and Taylor Heflin have been kind of limited spring. We expect them to be back.
It's giving other
But
guys opportunity.
but Pepper Tanuvasa, Griffin Baumel, had a really good spring. Paul Carruthers, Tyler Pistorius, and some other guys, at the inside linebacker spot. Um, Outside, it's Cromartie has gotten a ton of reps outside there with some other guys.
And Torrey Del Monaco is a converted fullback.
Yeah,
Does he look like he could play
Torrey's
that
doing some
spot?
decent things too. We've been, decent, happy with some of the things that we've seen Torrey do. He's got to continue to work. The D line, with Jarvis being out and Josh Webb being out, it's allowed us to give a lot of other guys look. Denzel Folks, the guys stood out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Edwards,
Yes,
another guy.
yeah, number 69. I've seen him making some plays. Yeah,
I'm kind of looking over. I mean, he's Mike Flowers.
yeah, he's a big boy, 320
Inside,
pounds.
probably one of the most impressive guys all the camp has been Alema Kapoy.
Okay,
And those, because we know Jackson, who Jackson
right.
is.
You know
and
what
stuff.
Jackson can do, right?
But to
You're
see
looking for some
Alema,
depth, yeah.
Alema has had a really, really good spring. Jacob Springer at safety is a guy that stood out.
Mm-hmm.
He's working hard. Falkman before he got injured. And on offense, it's you gotta look at guys. But yeah, there's John Lee, this guy that's been impressive at D back.
What about wide receiver? Because you really were decimated. You lost a lot of, basically nobody at wide receivers played. Taylor Jackson, and is anybody stepping up there that you're seeing? One kid, 86, caught a touchdown. Davis, I think his name is.
Yeah, and he did last Saturday too. So OJ's had a good camp, good spring practice. I've been excited what we've seen with him. Ryan Mitchell is a guy who just got some talent. He's got to continue to grow up. But I thought he had a good day today.
Mm-hmm.
Lexi Armis had a good day.
Right.
So I'm pleased
Seemed
with
to
him.
be adjusting well to the new position.
Yeah, we moved Mike Onuoha to wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Kid's got
From linebacker.
Yeah, he's got a 48 vertical.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a talented kid, and so those are guys that are some. I'm more encouraged right now after 8 practices, or whatever 9 practices, than I was at the beginning of spring.
What do you want to see from here on out?
Just continue to preach our culture. Like I said, it's been great because we've gotten a lot of live work. But Malcolm and Zach have gotten a ton of work,
Throwing the ball
and not in some of our team stuff. So I just think overall as a team, we've been able to accomplish so much in this spring ball. So I'm encouraged by that. And so with 6 practices left, we'll just try to finish off, try to stay physical, try to be smart at the same time. But super encouraged at this point.
How do you feel Coach O'Rourke is adjusting to coaching the offensive line?
Awesome. Just really, really excited about him. He's brought an energy and a spark and a spunk over there. I mean, it's normal, Danny. It's the way he coaches, and really excited. The guy's been in our, knows our offense inside and out as good as anybody. And so he brings a wealth of knowledge from a schematic standpoint and a ton of energy.
So those of us who don't quite understand how it is for a football coach, but if you know the option, can you pretty much coach every position? I mean, you've coached a lot of different positions when you were an assistant, didn't you?
Yeah, I think coaching is coaching. I mean, you can coach any position in football, I think.
Well, you don't have to have been an offensive lineman and know how
Yeah,
to.
and I don't think you have to be an option guy to coach option guy. I mean, but it helps, obviously. You know, what I mean, eventually you learn it. Some of the reasons I said in hiring Joe is such a late date because we have a small fraternity and it's such a quick turnaround. We didn't have time to train anybody.
Right, right.
Had to be someone we
But
felt
you could
that-
if you had to. Right.
Yeah, it's not ideal, especially when you got guys like that that are available, that are really, really good coaches, that are good people. But Danny's doing an awesome job.
Well, I wanted to talk a little about the offensive line. You were lost all three starters inside. I know they're looking at Higgins as possibly playing center, but he's not out here this spring. What are you seeing out of some of those inside guys? I don't really know much about Chris Kessel or Steve Satchel.
Right.
I don't know how much the guys even played last year. Let's talk about the guards.
So David Forney's back, and he did start some games
At the
late in
end,
the year
that's
last
right,
year.
right.
Laurent Njiki is back. He did start a game or two because of injury during the year. So they're doing well. Steven Satchel's a senior. Chris Gazelle's a senior. They know our offense. They've been in the system. They both have played. Chris has been injured most of his career.
Really?
So that's kind of where that's at. He is healthy for the first time, and they're really all having a good spring up to this point.
So, I mean, obviously, Forney is on the left side,
Right.
and I thought Njiki was backing him up.
Right.
Right. If Njiki's a more experienced guy, why not shift him over right, or do you trying to get?
Well,
tell me your thinking.
we're kind of rolling them around. So Forney's playing some center as well. He's playing left guard, and Jiki's always been a left guard. We've got Satchel and Gazelle, who are two seniors, playing on the right side, and they're doing a good job. We've got a freshman, Billy Honecker from Texas, is doing a really nice job
he's a
also.
big boy, isn't
He is, yeah.
Right.
But moves well and is picking up on the offense and is really doing well right now.
So, why did you all think that Higgins might make a good center? I mean, obviously he played a lot of tackle last year.
Right.
What made y'all think about moving him in there?
Super athletic guy.
Okay.
He's probably our most athletic guy. Really aggressive. And we'll have to see how it goes because he's not the biggest guy in the world, and
Right.
kind of see how he holds up. Today was actually his first day of practice.
Okay, so he is. I didn't know if he was going to practice at all.
Right. So he's back, and we kept him out of the live stuff, but I think we'll probably start weaning him back into that. But he's 100% ready to go. So we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with him, whether he's a center or whether he's a tackle.
Right. What since he hasn't been out here, are you able to have you been teaching him a little bit? I mean, is there some classroom stuff you can do to because he hadn't played center before, has he?
He has not.
Right.
He's snapped before practice, so that's obviously a big component, getting the ball up to the quarterback. So we've done that in the past, but he's been in all the meetings. We've done walkthroughs with him at center, and he's kind of training at both. So mentally, I don't think it's a problem whatsoever.
One of the kids, I mean, right there, Brian Barrett. He's as big as a house.
Right.
I would have thought that he's like a Maurice Morris at center,
Right.
but he's not been able to rise on the depth chart.
Right.
What's he got to do to make an impact?
I think he's getting better, and he's been running with the ones quite a bit this spring.
He has?
So he's had a good spring, and he's probably playing the best football of his career. He's got to
Okay.
continue to work. He's got to continue to get himself in shape.
Yeah,
Probably
I saw
still
him
need to
lagging
trim down a little bit.
behind on running laps.
He does that sometimes, yes. But he's doing as well as he's done here, and we've got high hopes for him. He's a guy that missed his entire sophomore year due to an injury as well.
Right.
So last year was really the first time that we got some game reps with him and things like that. So we think he's progressing. He got some work to do, but if we could get him going, he's talented, he's big. It could be a game changer for us if we could get him going.
And definitely a center.
He's definitely a center.
Right.
Yes.
And the Eric Cow kid that started the spring as top the depth chart, what have you seen out of that kid?
Tough kid, really, really smart. He's a little bit banged up right now, so he's been out. And really, we set a depth chart to start spring ball, and we hadn't released another one. We're not going to do it till spring ball's over.
But things are changing.
But we
all the
changed
time.
it daily. Yeah, we're competing and we're trying to get better, and the guys are doing a good job. But things will work themselves out.
And last but not least, what do you think about having Coach O'Rourke join you coaching the offensive line? Are they accepting of a guy who's really a slot backs coach?
He's not really a slot backs coach. He's really an O-line coach at heart. So
Is he? Okay.
He's doing great. And what we were trying to do is do what's best for the football team. He's got the perfect temperament. He understands the offense. He has now coached every position on offense other than quarterback. he is going to be a great addition, and we're fired up to have him, and the guys are super excited about him.
How are you adjusting to coaching offensive line?
It's been great. It's been great. You know, football is football. I've enjoyed the guys. I've enjoyed just the whole deal. You know, it's kind of, for me, it's been a good progression to, you know, kind of see the offense as a whole, and then you get to see kind of how the guys up front that make the whole thing go, see how they live and how they work and that kind of stuff. So I've always had a ton of respect from the offensive line from afar, and then to be able to get down there with them and work with them and talk to them and do all that, it's been awesome.
So Coach Niumatalolo was saying that, you know, when they talked about this, they just kind of came back to Coach O'Rourke's our guy there. But when they approached you about it, I mean, you coached slots a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
What was your thought? Because Coach Niumatalolo was saying, you know, you've now coached almost every position. It's got to help you as far as, you know, maybe your career down there.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I hope so. I took it as a compliment, you know, to think that they thought that I could do that, you know, and to take that next step and to do something like that, you know, and you know, honestly, I was comfortable coaching the slots. I love coaching the slots. I found my rhythm, but you know, change is good, you know, and you know, obviously, Coach, I got, you know, the utmost respect for him and his decisions, and he comes and asks, and I say, Coach, if that's what you want, let's do it. I'm all for it, you know. And change is good, you know. It keeps you fresh. It's been awesome for me to, just like I said, you know, you think you know, but you really don't know until you get in the middle of it and go, oh yeah, that's what that meant, you know. And so to get back in there and get through the playbook and you know, go through it from another perspective, I think obviously for me it's been huge. And hopefully, you know, down the road it will be good for me, you know, to see this, you know, from all sides of the ball.
Well, I mean, I know you know the offense through in and out, so you know what they're supposed to do as far as blocking stuff and all that. But maybe some of the little technique things.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have to bone up a little bit on that before you get out in there and teach them you step this way,
no doubt,
hands here, and that kind of stuff?
Doubt. A lot of it's just, you know, terminology and the verbiage and stuff that we've used here. And, you know, getting on pace with all that. You know, structurally, I know what's going on fundamentally. But then to get in, and, you know, and then the thing is, you know, it comes fast, you know, and you got to think fast and that kind of stuff. So that's been you know, a good deal for me. But I think, you know, football's football. It's, you know, guys just, they need to know, you know, where to go, how to get there, and then they need to play with great effort and great, you know, intensity and finish blocks and do all that stuff. So that's really been my focus now. Is just to try to get them to go the right way, take the proper steps, and then just finish, just play hard. You know, no matter what position you're coaching, it's the same on defense, offense. Doesn't matter what position. You know, football is football. You just gotta play hard. And over the course of time, the guys who play the hardest, they find a way to win. Right. So just getting those guys to get those guys in the right spots, and we've got some guys that we like. That we think are going to be our core nucleus of guys, and then finding what spot they fit. Some guys might be better on the left, some guys might be better on the right, some guys might be better inside as opposed to outside, and then just continue to work, and then, you know, good things will happen hopefully.
So your coach is working primarily with the tackles. Obviously, two veterans, Andrew Wood and Jake Hulk, are returning starters, played a lot of football, but you know, I'm sure they can get better. I mean, you know, they had issues with jumping off sides or committing penalties, so they can get better. You know, what are you trying to work with on two returning starters?
Yeah, no doubt. Just getting them to be more consistent, you know, and that's the key. And to get them to be leaders. You know, these guys are putting in a lot of work, a lot of effort over the course of, you know, 4 years now. That you know, they're going to be seniors. As crazy as that sounds, I mean, they've been there. You know, it seems like it flies by when these guys turn, you know, are going to be seniors, but just getting them to be more consistent, take some ownership in the group, take some ownership in themselves, and have some accountability, you know, to themselves. I think that's what, you know, that's all we preach, is just accountability, doing it right all the time. You know, you can't have, the thing is, you can be right all game, and then one slip up costs us, you know, at some point in a game might be, you know, the difference between a win and a loss. So
Andrew Wood jumped off sides in an Army-Navy game, and it was hurt.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, so that's been our you know, point of emphasis, you know, from, you know, when we cranked it back up, coming out of, you know, going into our off-season program and that kind of stuff. It's just being accountable, just doing right. You know, and a lot of that comes from doing right off the field. You know, doing, you know, the guys that tend to skate the edges and be gray. They tend to do that on the football field. So just cleaning up a lot of stuff with those guys and making sure they're straight off the field and making sure that everything's in order so that they can come out and just play. So I think that's the key for us.
What's happening behind Andrew Wood and Jake Hulk? Because Ford Higgins, who was kind of the backed them both up last year and got the most reps as a backup, is looking at maybe playing center and hasn't really been out here anyway. Who backup tackles? Who's showing you anything?
Yeah, Kendall Wright's done a really good job.
Big kid has been around. Yeah,
he's been around, and finally, hopefully, this is the year he'll come out of the shell. I think he was, when he first got here, he kind of didn't know what to do. That's typical. It's young, and then it's just taking him a little bit of time. And some people it does, and when the light does come on with him, I think he's going to be a really good player. Adam Mimosa, same. Been here for a long time.
Time for him to step up.
It's time for him to do it. This is his last shot, his last go around, and he can do it. So it's not like we're asking him to do something he can't do.
Right.
He can do it. He's got the skill set. He can do it. We just got to be more consistent. And if he does do it, I think he'll be pleasantly surprised with how well he plays, and and the playing time that he gets and that kind of stuff. So that's the key for us. Is just they can do it. They can do it. They have the skill set. We're not asking them to climb Mount Everest or anything like that. They can do it. So it's just getting them to do it, and that's our job. If we didn't have to do that, they wouldn't need us, and we wouldn't have coaches, So take these guys, push them harder than they think they can be pushed, play harder than they think they can play, and then hold them accountable and just keep get to where we want to be.